Mr. Anderson, welcome. So we will give you 90 seconds to use as you'd like. You can give some background on yourself. You can do whatever you want to do. Then we'll go down the aisle. We've randomly selected who will start each section. And so that's how we will go. Each person starts differently for each speaker. And so go ahead. You've got 90 seconds to introduce or do whatever you'd like.
Okay, I'm David Anderson. I'm originally from Oakland, California. I've been here in San Leandro for 22 years. I'm a retired sheet metal worker. I'm enjoying my retirement, but I feel I have a lot to give. I was on the school board and I got involved with the schools because of my children. I got involved with the city because I was appointed to San Leandro Senior Commission. And I was on it with Mr. Simon, and we were able to do a lot of things. So I'm just going to kind of read some of the stuff because it's easy for me to do that. Uh, let me see. I've dedicated a substantial amount of my time as a volunteer within our community. As a former senior commissioner, I forged connections to numerous seniors, providing daily support through various activities. Additionally, I attracted and participated in cleanup incentives in the city of San Leandro. I contributed a lot of my efforts to help the Davis Street Community Center. I organized annual food drives where we donated from Bell Vista. We donated, literally tons of food during the holidays. We collected up there and I drove it down there and gave it to them. My passion, it really lies in making a tangible difference in the lives of others. Also, I'm not going to read anymore. I also feel that I have the ability to work with groups of people. I have the ability to not be divisive, and I work well with ideas, and I come up with ideas to make things better for the city. And I think that's what's unique about it, because that was it. Okay.
Yes. So at this point in time, we're going to go down and continue our dialogue, right? So I think for this session, it is Councilmember Aguilar, if I'm remembering correctly. Councilmember Aguilar.
Thank you, Mayor Gonzalez. Thank you, Dave, for being a part of this process, and congratulations on being one of the top 6. My question is, the city has over $300 million in unfunded capital improvement projects. We call it CIP. How would you try to solve this issue?
How would I solve the issue of unfunded money?
Of unfunded capital improvement projects.
For capital improvement? Well, again, you have to work as a team. We have a city manager that brings ideas to us. We know that we have homeless issues. We have a lot of houses spaces to build homes, which we need to talk about doing that. But again, it goes with working with individuals, whether it be developers, private interest groups, or the city. And that's what I would do, working together to try to make those different things happen.
Yeah. And my second question is with regards to the navigation center, where we're moving forward with the navigation center here in San Leandro. How would you advocate to partner and move forward with the navigation center with those who are unhoused and those who have mental health issues?
How would I move forward with the navigation houses? We've got it. We've actually purchased it, from my understanding. Another thing about the city, the transparency that we have. I understand we missed part of the grant, so now that we own the Nimitz, is that correct? Yes, no, we can't answer it. But if we do, we'll continue to work with that and also get private resources to come in and also help contribute to it. There are a lot of people out here who want to help San Leandro. I belong to a group, I sit on a board of directors with the Northern Light Schools, and we get to mingle with a lot of people that donate money. What they're telling me is no one from San Leandro have asked them for help. And I said, okay, I can put you in contact with different people, whether I get nominated or not, because we do need those resources. A lot of ball players, private investors, they want to help San Leandro. And navigation houses, that's what we need to do. San Leandro have a perfect example of one that's being successful, that works. How they identify the people, they bring them in, they identify them, they help them move on and get their lives together. So I would try to continue moving in that direction.
Thank you. Those are my questions, Mayor.
Thank you. At this point in time, we'll go to Councilmember Bowen, please.
Hi, Dave.
Hi.
My first question to you is, can you tell me about a time you've had to make a difficult decision and speak to the process and your considerations?
Okay, a time that I had to make a difficult decision? Ooh, I had a lot of times I had to make a lot of difficult. Really, I just do my fact finding. When I have to make a decision, I do my research. I talk to the people I'm involved with and say, this is the way I would perceive moving. And I get their input and then I move forward. I think a lot of times we make it more difficult than what it really is. If we have a common agenda, which we all should, city council members, if we're trying to make San Leandro a better city, is how do we do it? So once you come to that conclusion, you need to work together on making that happen. So it's not really hard. Like I said, I have 4 daughters and they kind of taught me how to make difficult decisions with the young man they pick. So it's really, I don't think it's that hard for me. I was on the Oakland School Board. And when I got on there with those other 7 or 6 board members, it was fighting left and right. Year and a half with everybody focused on the budget. You have to get the budget straight. You can't have people donating money and then the superintendent takes it and put it in general purpose budget. Everything has to know where it's going to go and why it's dedicated there. So I don't think I would have a problem making a difficult decision here in San Leandro.
Thank you. Another priority that is really important to me and many members of the community are quality of life issues. Addressing them are critical to the satisfaction of the residents. Can you identify some concerns that are specific to District 1 and share strategies that you or the city would want to take with the city?
Quality of life. My district, I live in Bella Vista. We have a lot of seniors and they need a lot of help on direction, whether it's transportation, whether it's information on how do they get medicine, affordable medicine. Even some places where we have the new building where it used to be the old CVS. I've actually, and I don't publicize a lot of things that I do. I've helped seniors with their rent. When they raise the rent, $60 for a rent increase is a lot of money for some people. For over 2 years, I've helped 2 women there continue to have their apartment by giving them $60 every month. And I've also brought other people on to volunteer to give them $20. So those type of situations exist. Then we also have families they're young families that are trying to get affordable housing. So there are ways to make those things happen too.
And then my last question, Dave, is what specific strategies would you want to implement to support working families, teens, and young children in San Leandro?
Say that again. I don't know if I'm having.
What specific strategies would you want to implement to support working families, teens, and young children in San Leandro?
For working families, first we try to get the wages up, affordable wages, because we're way below what we need to be here in San Leandro. I think we're about 95% higher than the national average for housing. The expenses here, whether it's food, grocery, or houses, 95%. That's a lot of money to be different. So that's what I would try to do is get the wage up. Also help do with the education, try to educate more people to get better jobs.
Thank you.
I'll come down to Councilmember Baloo, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Dave, congratulations on making it this far. I have 2 questions for you. We got 4 minutes. If you're not finished with the first question after about 2 minutes, I'm just going to raise my hand to give you a signal that I have another question ready to ask. The first question is, there are 5 of you competing for this position tonight. Besides yourself, which one of the other 4 applicants do you consider the most qualified for this appointment and why?
Would probably be my image looking in the mirror. I can't support anybody else. I think I'm the best candidate. I wouldn't be wasting my time submitting these questions. They're all very nice. I've talked with them, I met with them, but I think with my experience that I've, picked up through the years, whether going to school, whether working on the San Leandro City Council, the Oakland School Board, I think my experience puts me ahead of all of the other candidates out there. And I'm not saying it disrespectfully. This is just me knowing that I can help solve problems and I can work as a team member.
Thank you. And then another question I have is, if appointed, what's your plan to conscientiously represent all 90,000 plus residents of San Leandro and not be unduly influenced by a small number of activists who do not necessarily speak for or represent the values of the 90,000 plus San Leandrons? Please be specific.
What I would do is there's 7 districts here in San Leandro and all the needs are different in each district. And I would never work with an individual group that does not have the best interest of San Leandro at heart. So you have to find out what is the interest of all those 7 districts, what's the best interest? And you have to try to work with them individually, whether it's affordable housing, whether it's you maybe have too much homeless in one area. The schools, we actually have some great schools. And so you have to do the survey to find out the needs of each school before you can address their needs.
Thank you. And I have some follow-up if I may. In your application, this is an additional question, just relating to your application. I'm hoping you can help us a little bit. You said you envision a city embracing culinary transformation with an introduction of farm-to-table restaurants and hybrid coffee shops. First of all, I've never heard of a hybrid coffee shop. Can you educate me and others in the chambers here? What is that? And then what's your vision for farm
A
to?
hybrid coffee shop, or it's a multiple use. It's not just coffee, it's a multiple use. You know, now they're trying to get like cannabis clubs where they can serve coffee in there. It's a hybrid type of thing, you know, to help bring the revenue in. And it would increase our tax base here in San Leandro.
And what's farm to table? What's your vision for how we would transform the culinary? I'm
We
sorry,
try to
embrace the
act-
culinary transformation.
We'll try to attract businesses that are interested in doing that. You know, there are people that want to invest in San Leandro. We have to be open to those ideas. Like you said, you didn't even know what it is. So once we find out that that's possible to bring it here, we'll try to encourage them to come in and invest.
Are there any specific you have in mind that we could reach out to or ask our
Well-
community development people to reach out to?
When I talk to other city council members in different cities, that's what they're talking about trying to do. Because a lot of the brick and mortar stores, they're vacant. So if you can get a cannabis club that can now serve coffee and donuts and stuff, it has a threefold purpose. You can make more money.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I think somebody said a location.
Okay, so I will come down the aisle to Vice Mayor Simon, please.
Mhm.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson, for coming out tonight. You answered some of my question here with Councilmember Bowen's question, but if you could elaborate a little bit more. Seniors are a very large population in our community, 39% among youth, adults, and seniors. And the population is expected to grow. Specifically, what measures will you take to cater to our growing senior community?
It's a tough one. They have a lot of needs. You know, one of the things we did on the Decision Commission, we made this became an age-friendly city, which with AARP, we could apply for grant. It would help us get more money coming in. They have transportation issues for the seniors, medical needs. A lot of seniors are just sitting home. They have no activities here, just getting depressed. So we need to expand on how we can reach out to those seniors. So my experience working with the life enrichment program in Oakland is that we had small volunteer groups go to houses, identify people, and we would check on them once a month to make sure that their needs was met, whether it was taking them to Safeway to get groceries, taking them to the laundry or those type of things, or keeping them contact with their relatives. A lot of times the relatives kind of put you away or forget about you. So that would also help them enjoy their life. Okay. We talk about housing too for seniors. I was mentioning earlier that the cost of living keeps changing, but for seniors, their income only stays the same. So we have to reach out. Again, there are people out there that will help. They will adopt a senior and help them, give them $20 a month or $100 a month, whatever it takes to keep them going for 6 months. So we can expand on those type of programs. And that's something that I'm willing to do. Like Brian, he does a lot of the volunteer cleanups throughout the city. He takes that on by himself. I would be willing to work with seniors and identify those needs, make sure we can get somebody to partner with them and make that happen. It's not that difficult. I mean, I run into a lot of people that want to volunteer. They want to volunteer for the city, but they don't want to deal with all the bickering back and forth. They say, this is what we want to do and allow us to do it. So what if we set that path for them, they'll continue to do it. 6 months to a year.
Thank you. My second question, in the past few months, we've had quite a few high schoolers here, young adults. We've also had in the past elementary school kids, middle school, and some are here for a flag ceremony, or there's issues that they're passionate about, close to their hearts. What would you see or what would you do to improve the relationship between city council and the city and our youth? How would you bring us together? Improve our relationship?
Well, first, I would work with the students because you have our social justice groups. They're really headstrong and they want to make a change. So if you work together with them, let them know what the process is. I think, with a, case where a lot of people came and wanted to do a resolution for the, Palestine, Gaza Strip. Nobody knew what the process was. So we have to teach them what the process is. The youth and the adults in city council, we need to sit down and talk, not together to violate the Brown Act or anything, but just meet with them one-on-one. The teachers kind of have control right now of our youth right now because they see them every day and they're teaching them to be really adamant about their feelings. But we also have to get the parents involved so we're not misleading the students. Okay? Did I answer the last part?
Yeah, that's got it. Thank you. Thank you. That concludes my questions.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to start with public safety. What I'd like to do, what I've done with all the interviewees, I want to brainstorm with you about public safety. And in particular, your, oh, I missed you. Okay.
Got skipped. What's up?
No worries. So yes, I forgot, we started with Councilmember Aguilar. So thank you. I apologize for that. And I will come back to mine.
Hello, David.
Hey, how you doing?
Thank you for willing to put yourself out there to help the community and applied to be on District 1, the city council member. My first question is, what made you have the passion or desire to be on the city council?
Well, I believe it was bid on the senior commission. You know, when you sit there, what do we meet? Every Thursday, every second Thursday, and you hear them come in and they wanted to tell us their problems, but because they really couldn't speak too much in public, once the meeting was over, they would always come to me and they would talk to me about different things. And so when you give somebody $50, a senior, that made a big difference in their life. So I said, how can you expand on? What can I do to expand on that? And it's the same thing that got me involved in it with the kids in the Oakland schools, is that the services we should be providing for our kids, we weren't. So you get involved. Once you identify a problem, you can keep complaining about it or you can get involved. I got involved with the Oakland School District for 7 years. I didn't mean to get that deeply involved, but I had 2 daughters in there. Same thing with the seniors. I would get involved with the seniors and work with them and try to make sure we get just affordable housing for a senior is really tough because they income does not change. So we have to do something to try to help them. And like I said, that would be something I would be willing to take on as a city council member. Is let's try to find that a funding source, money to help these seniors. And like I said, I can get some people to come in and adopt a senior for 6 or 7 months and give them that extra money. And I think that would be a big change in their life. Mhm.
So what would be the biggest issue you would think is with the city that you would want to tackle first? Excuse me. I mean, I know you mentioned just about the seniors, but what's another
So
issue?
the biggest issue is we want to try to prevent crime from coming over from the borders, Oakland and Haywood, because we know it's going to happen because it's happening all around the city. So we want to make sure we get our police department situated. Want to hire more police. Want to have more ambassadors out in the street. So that would be something I would want to tackle. Not individually. I don't think any one of us can make a change. It's got to be all of us working together. Not 4, not 5, but all of us got to work together. We identify a problem. Like I said, I'm willing to work with the seniors. Then we'll work with that. I can get you guys to work with me, identify the people. But it's not, one individual is going to make that big of a difference. Only thing that one person can do is bring us all together. And that's what I'd be willing to do. Whatever the issue.
It starts with one person.
Now it's your turn.
All right, thank you. And apologies again, Councilmember Acevedo. So I do want to talk about public safety and do a little bit of brainstorming with you. I want to talk about strategies, techniques, tactics, methods, whatever term you want to use, like how do we address the public safety challenge as broadly as you want to define public safety and as broadly as you want to define tactics, techniques, methods. I just want to know about the how.
Okay. So again, we've got to make sure we get our police department straightened out and get all the police positions filled. We also have to listen to the public. And again, it's a team effort. You know, when you say, how can you do this or how can I could be the catalyst to bring us together. We identify the problem, which is public safety, whether it's a crossing guard in front of a school, or whether somebody escorting to someone to their car, you know, a teacher or a parent or whatever, then we can all work together on making that happen. I can be the catalyst for that because I'm retired. I have the time. Once we identify David's going to work with the seniors, David's going to work with the public safety issues, then I would spearhead that. Then I would come to my council members and say, hey, can you help me with this? Can you help me with this? Because one individual is not going to make it happen. And I just have to keep reiterating that. It's going to take more than just one person to make it happen. You identify the problem or the issue, the city manager, say, this is what we want to try to help. Can you help us, David? Sure, I'll go out and take a hand at it, give it a hand. So once we identify those issues, which would be public safety in your case, Mayor, then we will work on solving the problems, whether it's at the schools, it's at our borders, it's in the neighborhoods. I would be willing to take that on because I would be the new person. So I have that little bit more time to identify those and go door to door and find out if this will work. When I was the president of Bella Vista, we talked about the speed bumps on Sybil. A lot of the parents or the residents in that area, they complain about the speed bumps, but none of them really want to come and speak in front of the city council because I think at that time they were afraid of you guys. And my message to them was, they're human beings just like you. They're only gonna give you 2 minutes, so take your 2 minutes and tell them you don't want speed bumps. They
So-
got them anyway because nobody came up here.
So what I'd like to do now is pivot to a new topic. And in
Mhm.
particular, we've heard about $300 million of capital improvement project needs, et cetera. I want to know about the how. How do we get the money to pay for this? Do we do it through economic development? And if so, how? Do we do it through taxes? Do we do it through bonds? I don't care. Just I want you to generate some ideas with us right now.
I would love to generate ideas with you, but we could ask for a grant from the state. We know the county doesn't have as much money as they have. The state doesn't either. They're looking at a deficit. But again, we have to do it together. Do we go to the private industry and try to get money to help us? Or do we, borrow the money ourselves through bond initiatives? So again, I would rely on our city manager and our attorney to say, this is what you guys can apply for, and then we will try to work it, make it happen. So again, it would be a team effort. I mean, my background is in construction. We go out and we get money. We get it from developers. We offer them incentives, and that's what we do. It's the same thing with the state and the county. We need to say, look, we need this money, and how can we get it? Just like Measure J for the schools.
Thank you. So what I'd like to do is then just give you, a minute to wrap up in some way. This is your time. If there's a question that you wanted to kind of re-answer, if there's something that we didn't ask you that you want to tell us about, this is your time to
Okay.
wrap it all up.
All
1
right.
minute.
I have 1 minute. I want to make sure that I answered your question because I'm not going by your facial expression, just more your gestures. I want to make sure I answered your second question that you asked me.
I just fidget up here because it's hard for me to sit still.
I can't hear you. Say what?
I just fidget up here because it's hard for me to sit still.
Oh, well, I'm
If you're
fidgeting.
satisfied with your answer, I'm satisfied with
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I answered it. So, okay. And the other thing is, like I said, I have the talent, I have the knowledge, I have the willingness to work as a team player. And I think that's what I offer in the rest of it. We know what happened to the last person that was here. They came in and they're gone. You won't see that happening with me. That's pretty much it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.